Hey family, what's good? This is your girl, I am the Bronze Goddess, and it's time for another strawberry letter. Let's go get 'em. I was 21 and praying feverishly a prayer I found called Prayer for a Husband. It pretty much went along the lines of asking God to prepare the man that he had prepared for me. A few weeks passed and I met a guy. Around that time I started looking at wedding dresses like crazy and I had no idea as to why. I was a recent college graduate and at the time I had just started working. As soon as I met a guy, I stopped praying the prayer and I thought to myself, this must be the one. He wasn't the ideal guy I had imagined, especially because the fact that he was 7 years older than me, and I discovered that he had a 4-year-old son. Entering the relationship, I was a virgin and I expressed to him that I wanted to remain that way. Unfortunately, I lost my virginity to him, which I regretted later on, only 2 months after meeting him. For the entire time we were boyfriend and girlfriend, keep in mind I initiated the relationship, I felt no spark and no type of attraction to him for that matter. Then after only 11 months of dating, he proposed. I must add that prior to this, I had never seen him around the island. I didn't know him or didn't hear of him. The night that he proposed, I feigned excitement because I didn't want to embarrass him, but I instantly got a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach and I knew he wasn't the one. It was something I had been feeling for months, but I was afraid to hurt his feelings and I didn't want to be the heartbreaker in the relationship. I also thought that I was trapped and searched for a way out. During the relationship, he became controlling, telling me what to wear, who to talk to, where to go, where to hang out. Me being the person that I am, I rebelled, which infuriated him. He would throw tantrums and abruptly end our relationship. I lived with my parents and he would visit every night up until about 12 or 1 in the morning and then hike a ride home. I later found out that he was skipping work on several of these occasions, even after being warned. He also was terrible at managing money. I'm gonna have to summarize it really long. He was terrible at managing his money. He would ask to borrow $50 just about every week. She said last year she paid over $3,000 to him through like school supplies for his son, helping him pay his rent, his car note, all of that. She only makes $200 a week, but she had paid $3,000 to him last year. So she basically feels like she's stuck in the relationship. She doesn't know what to do. She says she's embarrassed. She said she will be embarrassed to go and tell her family and friends that she was wrong about him and that that she doesn't even know if she wants to marry him. In the meantime, she found out that he was carrying on inappropriate relationships with different women that he had met on Facebook, and she doesn't really know what to do. So the main thing that I want to tell you is, I also talked about it in my book, women settle for so many different reasons. And I feel like you're settling. You're settling because you feel like you've already been intimate with him, you've already lost your virginity, and you don't want to have the shame of feeling like you gave something to someone that you didn't have a true relationship with. What I feel about you is a couple of different things. Number one, you're only 21. So just because you finished college doesn't mean you're ready to get married. You don't even sound like you've done a whole lot of dating to even know what it is exactly that you want. You barely know yourself, much less know him well enough to want to take a big step like getting married. And another thing, I feel like just because you're praying for a man, I said it before, if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Just because you're praying for a man and you meet one doesn't necessarily mean that's the man that you prayed for. Just like God hears your prayers, so does the devil. And he will send you a wolf in sheep's clothing to get you off track. And I feel like that is exactly what happened here. I don't think that God sent him. I think the devil did. Straight up and down, no sugarcoating, nothing like that. Because he wanted to get you off track. You were doing the right thing as far as your faith and as far as maintaining your virginity, and this man came in as a distraction. You have to realize that whenever you're walking and you're trying to walk close with God and you meet someone that's trying to take you away from that, someone who's making you go against things that you know are the right thing to do, then that God didn't send that person. It doesn't matter who that person is. If they're encouraging you to break God's law, they are not of God, period. And I feel like, you wanted to be married so bad that you would have put anybody in that place. Whether it was him or John or Scott or Mike or Terrence or whoever it was, you wanted to get married. Why in the world are you dress shopping when nobody even asked you to marry them? You doing too much. I'm gonna need you to slow down. You doing the most, and you set yourself up for this. Now, you didn't tell me if you told him that, but I suspect that you gave him hints and clues that you thought he was the one. Men will pretend to be the one as long as it takes to get what they want from you. So you mean to tell me after all this is said and done, you've given him $3,000 so far, which I'm sure he's not intending on paying you back. You're paying for this man's kids, his school supplies for the kids and all. Like, you're doing too much. You want to be married so bad that you let him talk to you all kind of way. You let him carry on affairs with different women on Facebook. All of this because you're too embarrassed to tell your family and friends that you were wrong about this guy. Slow down and stop. Forget what other people have to say. Would you rather have a wedding, or would you rather have a marriage? You don't want to marry this guy. It's not going to take much longer for him to start putting his hands on you. He's already laying down the groundwork with that. By talking to you in an abusive way, ending the relationship. He's already taken from you. I don't think it's not going to take much longer for him to finally step up the level of disrespect and put his hands on you. You are younger than him. You said you're 7 years younger than him. I think he found you for a reason. He knew that you were naive. He knew what to say. He knew what to do. I'm not trying to say that every relationship that has an age difference is the same way, but what I will say is some older men do prey on younger women like yourself because they know what to say and do to get you to fall in love or to make you think that you're in love. They're Mr. Charming. They're Prince Charming. They're perfect in the beginning, but then slowly they start to take from you. Whether he's taking your body or taking your money, he is a taker, and a taker never gets tired of taking. So stop giving. Stop giving him everything. Stop giving him sex. Stop giving him money. Stop giving him your time. Of course, I'm going to tell you to pray about it, but don't ask God to help you in situations that only take common sense. This man is using you for everything and anything he can get from you. He is despicable, in my opinion. Because he saw you, saw how vulnerable you are, saw that you wanted to be married, and he was going to play that role for you. I suspect that there aren't any plans for the marriage, for the wedding. I bet you're not getting any flowers. So you're going to pay for your own wedding? You're going to pay for your own ring? You already told me in the letter that he's skipping out on work to come visit you. So how long do you think it's going to take for him to lose that job? You said he's been warned several times. He's not worrying about money because you're the bank. You don't get it? You can take care of him. And you're going to take care of his son too. He is using you. This is a textbook case of an older man using a younger woman to get whatever it is that he can get. Not all older men do that, but this man is. You're giving him your body, you're giving him your time, you're giving him his money, you're taking care of Junior. And what is he giving you? Besides stress of thinking he's cheating on you. Stop worrying about what other people think. And if you don't want to marry this man, don't. It's that simple. I remember listening to my dad. My dad was a pastor and everything. He was preaching and he was talking about marriage, and he said, I don't care if I'm walking my baby girl down the aisle and she whispers to me, Daddy, I don't want to do it. Was saying, my father was telling me I don't care if we have to cancel the caterer and the cake and the flowers and the music and the band and all of that. I'll take a loss on the money, whatever it takes. But if you're not happy and you feel in your heart it's not right, don't do it. And even though I don't know your father, I'm sure he feels the same way. If this is not right, don't do it. Forget the embarrassment. People will get over that. So you rather live a lie so that other people can feel like you have it all? And what do you really have? This man is a leech. I cannot stand leeches, especially when a grown man can't take care of himself. If a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. It's not your responsibility to feed him and clothe him and take care of his kid. I don't even know how you're not tired of that yet, but you will become quickly tired of this. He is too comfortable taking from you, and that's a warning sign to me. And you know what? He sounds like a con man to me as well. You said you've never seen him around your island. You never heard of him. Nobody's ever spoken of him. All of a sudden, he comes out of nowhere, and here he is. Let me ask you, have you met his son? Do you know for a fact he even really does have a son? Because how do you know that he's not asking for school supply money for Junior and it's not money for him? Like I don't trust him. Absolutely not. He emerges out of nowhere and got his hand out, and I feel like if you do marry him, you're gonna have to pay for that. You're gonna have to pay for that, metaphorically and literally. You will have to pay for that. You have to pay for your own wedding. You have to pay for your own dress. You'll have to pay for him. You'll have to pay for his company. You'll have to pay for his company. If you want him around, you have to keep those checks coming. Do you want to buy a husband? Because that's what it sounds like you would have to do to keep him. When the money dries up and the sex dries up, so will the relationship. That's my thought on it. And I'm trying my best not to I don't want you to think that I'm mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm angry because I can't stand when somebody uses someone. That pulls on my compassion as a human being. I'm a mother of 3, and if any one of my baby girls was being treated like this, trust me, mama would be all up in it. I don't want to be a Mama Joyce. I don't want to be anybody like that, but nobody gonna sit around and just use my baby. You're being used. And it's sad. It is sad that a grown man would take advantage of you like this. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen every single day. Cut your losses and leave while you still have something to take with you. And of all things, please, please, please do you not get pregnant with this man's baby. Please, let it go. Anyway, that's it for this particular video. Be sure to thumbs up.